Hello everyone, my name's Kat and I work for Western Bartonshire Libraries. One of the things that I do in the libraries is I take baby massage and baby yoga classes for babies and their parents and carers. So this is Jojo, my baby massage demonstration doll, and what we're going to do for you today is we're going to guide you through what we would be doing in week 4 of a 6-week block of baby massage sessions. So in week 4 we mainly focus on baby's tummy and the back as well. And for those of you that haven't taken part in any of our classes before, it's just a few things to go over. So some of the moves that we do in baby massage aren't suitable for wee ones that are under 6 weeks old. So we would recommend that you wait until your baby's had their 6-week health check before you participate. And also if your wee one has any underlying health conditions and you're at all concerned about taking part in the baby massage, you can just double check with your health visitor first. So the oil that we use in the baby massage classes is just vegetable oil. So if you've got some vegetable oil or sunflower oil in your kitchen, something like that would be perfect. It absorbs nicely into baby's skin and it means they're not slippery if you need to pick them up during the session, and also there's no perfumes in it, so babies are unlikely to have any kind of reaction to it. But if you've got something that you would prefer to use at home, that's totally fine as well. So before I guide you through all the moves that we do in week 4 of a baby massage session, we're going to do a small amount of relaxation, breathing and stretching exercises, as that's what we always do at the beginning of our classes. So to begin the relaxation, just make yourself nice and comfortable. And then I want you to concentrate on your breathing. Take nice, slow, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just inhale and exhale. And while you continue with your slow, deep breaths, we're going to stretch out some of our muscles, starting with your neck. So if you just drop your chin all the way down to your chest and hold it there for a few seconds. And then bring your head back. And this time tip it backwards and again hold. And back to the centre, and then tip your head over to one side so that your ear goes down towards your shoulder. Back to the centre and over to the other side. And back to the centre. Okay, next we're going to pull our shoulders up nice and tight towards our ears and relax. And again, pull them up nice and tight and relax. One last time. Tense your shoulders up and relax. And then the last move we always do, if you pull your hands out in front of you, really stretch them out so you can feel the muscles in your upper arms and shoulders. And if the baby's lying in front of you, you can give them a little wave. And that's us, nice and relaxed, ready to start the baby massage session. So in every baby massage session that we do, we always start off with a stroke called the velvet clog. So before you take off any of baby's clothes and before you get any oil on your hands, you just rub your 2 palms together like this, close to baby's ear. Babies will learn to recognise that sound and know that they're going to get a baby massage. And then you use the pads of all your fingers and you give babies a long gentle stroke from the tops of their head all the way down to the tips of their toes, and their little toes can get a gentle tug at the bottom. So you just do that about 4 or 5 times, and that gets baby used to the touch before the massage strokes begin. Now we always tend to start off on baby's legs because it's the least sensitive part of baby's body. So if you want to just undo baby's baby grow or take off their trousers and socks or whatever they have on and just push them aside. You don't need to strip baby off right away. Don't want them to get too cold, so we just do a section at a time. So we're starting off on the legs with the upside down leg stroke. So you want to get some oil on your hands now. So just a little bit of oil into the palm of your hand and then warm it up by rubbing it between your two palms. And just help yourself to oil again whenever you think you need it. So starting off with the upside down leg stroke, you've got one of baby's feet in one of your hands, and then the flats of all your fingers on the other hand. You start at the bottom of baby's leg, stroke all the way up the front of the leg, turn your hand at the hip, down the outside towards the foot again. So just make sure your fingers are pointing in the way, stroke all the way up the front of the leg, turn your hand at the hip, down the outside towards the foot again. That's just a nice, long, slow, relaxing stroke. Nice one to start off the session with. So once you've done that about 4 or 5 times on baby's first leg, we're going to swap over and do the same thing on baby's other leg. Make sure you swap hands over so that your fingers will still point in the way, and stroke all the way up the front of baby's leg. Turn your hand at the hip and down the outside towards baby's foot again. And again, you just want to do that about 4 or 5 times on this leg as well. Okay, and then the next stroke we're going to do, going back to baby's first leg, holding the foot in the same way, and we're going to do kneading the dough. So your other hand is in this kind of curved shape this time. You start at the top of baby's leg with your thumb on top of the thigh and fingers underneath, and we're just doing a gentle twisting motion all the way down baby's leg from the top to the bottom. So this one's really good for circulation in the legs, and it's also good for relaxing baby's muscles. So again, you want to do that about 4 or 5 times on the first leg, and then swap over to the other leg and do the exact same there. Make sure you swap your hands over, and again you're starting at the top of the leg with your thumb on top of the thigh and fingers underneath, and then just a gentle twisting motion all the way down baby's leg. Okay, now we're going to go back to baby's first leg, and we're going to do a move called Wibble Wobble. So you use your two palms for this. One goes on the inside of baby's thigh, fingers pointing down towards the floor. Your other hand is on the outside of baby's thigh, fingers pointing down towards the floor, and then you just do this up and down wibble wobble motion all the way down baby's leg. So just up and down with your hands like that. So this one is good for promoting suppleness, releases tension, and it's just a bit of fun. Swap over to the other leg as well. So you can sing wibble wobble jelly on a plate. There we go. So the next move we're doing is knees to tum. So you want to hold baby's feet, one in each of your hands, and then bend their legs at the knees and hold them up towards their tummy for a few seconds. And then relax their legs out straight. So again, bend their legs at the knees, up towards the tummy for a few seconds. And relax. So this one's really good for giving them a little relief if baby suffers from trapped wind. And relax. Okay, so we are going to finish off on the legs now with the same move that we started with. It's the upside down leg stroke again. So you're holding baby's foot in one of your hands and the flats of all your fingers on the other hand. You stroke all the way up the front of baby's leg, turn your hand at the hip and down the outside towards the foot again. It's a lovely, long, slow, relaxing stroke. And again, when you've done that a few times on the first leg, you just swap over to the other leg. Make sure you swap your hands over so your fingers still point in the way. And again, stroke all the way up the front of baby's leg, turn your hand at the hip and down the outside towards the foot again. Okay, so that's us finished on the legs. We're going to move up and do some strokes on baby's tummy. So you don't need to strip them off completely just now. If you could just undo the vest and roll it up out the way. And remember, just help yourself to your oil whenever you need it. So the first stroke that we do on baby's tummy is called the tummy cuddle. That's the opening stroke there. And you start off with your fingers together like that underneath baby's back. Stroke your hands to baby's sides, turn them and then bring your fingers to meet over baby's belly button. And that's a nice stroke for warming up baby's tummy area before we do the massage strokes there. So again, just doing that move about 4 or 5 times. Okay, now all our strokes that we do on baby's tummy, you want to make sure you're going in a clockwise direction. So all our circles go clockwise from left to right, because that's the direction of baby's bowels, and that will help out with any indigestion problems that babies might have. You also want to try and stay below the bottom of baby's chest so you can get any maximum benefit from the strokes. So the first one we're going to do is round and round the garden. If you picture a little clock face on baby's tummy, you're going to use first 2 fingers on your right hand and start at what would be 7 o'clock on that clock, so it's your bottom left, and then just with gentle pressure trace a circle all the way round to 5 o'clock. So we don't do this bottom part of the circle because that goes the wrong way for baby's bowels. So all these little moves and strokes that we do on baby's tummy help out with things like trapped wind and constipation and colic and any little tummy problems that baby might have. So the next one we're going to do is a petal stroke. So again, we're following that same circle with the 2 fingers, but this time we're adding in little petal shaped circles all the way around. And it's almost like you're drawing a flower on baby's tummy. Okay. The next one to do on baby's tummy is called windy box. Again, with those first 2 fingers on your right hand, starting at your bottom left, that's 7 o'clock, but instead of a circle this time it's going to have corners. So we go straight up and then straight across under the chest and then straight down to the bottom right. And again, we're not doing this bottom part here. So again, you just want to do that about 4 or 5 times on baby's tummy. Now the next one we're going to do is tummy squeaker. So this is the one that's like a paddling motion. So you start with one palm just underneath baby's chest and stroke down baby's tummy, and then do the same with your other hand, one over another like a paddling motion. And then we have one left to do on baby's tummy before we move up to the chest and arms. So we're going to do tummy cuddle. That's the same one we started with your hands together like that underneath baby's back. Stroke your hands to baby's sides. Turn and bring your fingers to meet over baby's tummy. Okay, so we're going to move up now and do some strokes on baby's chest and arms. So if you want to take baby's vest or top or whatever they have off, just so that we can do the strokes on the chest and arms. If you think that baby might be getting a little cold, you can always get a little blanket or something and just cover up their bottom half, their legs, just like that. Okay, so just help yourself to your oil whenever you need it. And the opening move for the chest and arms is called hearts and flowers. For hearts and flowers, you start off with one palm placed on either side of baby's chest, stroke upwards and cup their shoulders, stroke all the way down the outside of baby's arms and open up their hands with your thumbs. And again, one palm on either side of baby's chest, stroke upwards and cup their shoulders all the way down the outside of their arms and open up their hands with your thumbs. A nice relaxing one for baby's muscles in their chest and arms, but also encourages babies to relax their hands out. A lot of babies have a habit of clenching their fists. Okay, so the next one is up arms, and that's just on baby's arms. So you start off with one palm underneath baby's arm with your fingers pointing up towards their armpit. Your other palm goes on the top of their arm with your fingers pointing up towards their shoulder, and then you just gently stretch and straighten all the way down to their fingertips. Now some babies don't like to straighten their arms out completely, and that's fine too. You just do whatever your wee one is comfortable with. So if they want to do this one with bent arms, that's fine too. And swap over and do the same thing for the other arm. One of your palms underneath, one on top, and then just gently stretch and straighten down to their fingertips. So this stroke's really good for strengthening and toning the muscles in their arms. Right, the next move that we're going to do is called wrist release. So we'll go back to baby's first arm. So we're going to be tracing along the crease at their wrist. So if you hold baby's hand in your two hands, then use the pads of your thumbs to start right at the centre of their wrist and then just stroke around to the sides. And that's a lovely soothing stroke for babies. Okay, and then just do the same thing for baby's other hand, again stroking around that crease at their wrist with your two thumbs. Okay, so we've just got hearts and flowers to do again on baby's chest and arms, and then we're going to do all the strokes on baby's backs. So hearts and flowers again. You place your two hands, one on either side of baby's chest, stroke upwards and cup their shoulders all the way down the outside of baby's arms and open up their hands with your thumbs. So again, two hands on, stroke upwards and cup their shoulders all the way down the outside of their arms and open up their hands with your thumbs. And we'll just do that one last time. There we go. So we've got some strokes to do now on baby's back. So if baby's comfortable lying on their tummies, you can just turn them over on the mat. Some babies prefer to have a little blanket or a towel or something rolled up to give them something to lean across, like that. That's totally up to you. Just find a way that works for you and you're comfortable with. So we're going to start off on baby's back with toes to tops. Toes to tops is always the opening move on baby's backs. So you start off down at the bottom of their legs with the pads of all your fingers, and you stroke up the backs of their legs, then up either side of their back, cup their shoulders and all the way down the outside of their legs. and body towards the feet again. So you want to make sure that you don't put any pressure on baby's spine when we're doing these strokes on their back. So this is a very relaxing one for babies. So again, you're just starting at the bottom of the legs, stroking all the way up the backs of the legs, up either side of baby's back, cup the shoulders and down the outside of the body towards the feet again. We'll just do that one more time. Okay, the next one we're going to do starts off exactly the same way. It's called back petals. Again, you're stroking up the backs of baby's legs, and this time once you get to the bottom of baby's back, you're switching to the first two fingers on each of your hands, and then you're just tracing little petal shaped circles all the way up either side of baby's back and stroke down the outside of their body towards their feet again. So again, you want to make sure you're not putting any pressure on baby's spine when you're doing this. So this one's really good for toning the muscles in baby's back. All these strokes on baby's back are helping tone the muscles and prepare them for when they're going to be sitting up. Okay, now the next one we're going to do is called healing thumbs. Again, it starts off exactly the same way, stroking up the backs of baby's legs. This time, once you get to the bottom of the back, you're going to switch to your two thumbs. Again, no pressure on baby's spine, but just from either side, you're stroking lines all the way out towards baby's sides, all the way up either side of their back. And I always describe this one as being like drawing rungs of a ladder on baby's back. And then stroke all the way down the outside of their body towards their feet again. So again, stroking up the backs of baby's legs, and then lines with your thumbs up either side of baby's back, and then stroke down the outside of baby's body towards their feet again. Okay, the next one we're going to do is called back knead. For back knead, you start at the top of baby's back at their shoulders and just work down either side of their back. So you put your hands almost into a fist shape, and it's this part of your fingers that you're going to be using for the stroke. So again, no pressure on baby's spine, just either side, and gentle pressure, just stroke down either side of baby's back. It's a very relaxing stroke for babies and good for muscle tone. Okay, so the next one we're doing on baby's back is called little tigger. So you're using the tips of your fingers for this one, and just from the shoulders down their back again, you just apply with gentle pressure all the way down either side of baby's back. Nice and relaxing again. Right, we have one stroke left to do on baby's back before we finish off, and that's the same one we started with, so it's toes to tops again. So using the pads of all your fingers, stroke up the backs of baby's legs, up either side of their back, cup their shoulders and all the way down the outside of their body towards their feet again. We'll just do that one more time. And then that will be us finishing off the session now. So we always start and finish every baby massage and baby yoga session with the same move, and that's the velvet cloak. So using the pads of all your fingers, you're going to give babies a long gentle stroke from the top of their head all the way down to the tips of their toes, and their little toes can get a gentle tug at the bottom. This is where I always like to say thank you to the babies for coming to my baby massage class, And I always like the babies to say thank you to their parents and carers as well. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. And so that is the end of a week 4 baby massage session, and I really hope you guys enjoyed taking part from home. So next time in the next session we'll be introducing some of the massage strokes on babies' heads and face as well. So I hope you can join us next time for that. Thank you. Bye.